Former porn star Stormy Daniels took the witness stand on Tuesday at Donald Trump's criminal trial in Manhattan. Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, described in graphic detail her alleged 2006 sexual encounter with the former U.S. president. Trump has pleaded not guilty to charges he falsified business records to cover up a $130,000 hush money payment to her ahead of the 2016 election. Here are 3 takeaways from the first day of Daniels' testimony. Daniels made clear that she did not decline what she described as Trump's sexual advances at a celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe, but she said she had, quote, blacked out before finding herself in a hotel room with no clothes on, though she said she had not consumed drugs or alcohol. Daniels testified that there was a, quote, imbalance of power, but that she was not, quote, threatened verbally or physically. Daniels described the alleged encounter in lurid detail, including Trump allegedly not wearing a condom during sex. Trump's lawyers asked Justice Juan Merchan to declare a mistrial, arguing such details served only to, quote, inflame the jury. Merchan denied the request, but urged prosecutors to limit Daniels' testimony. Merchan said, quote, there were some things that probably would have been better left unsaid. Jessica Roth, a former federal prosecutor for the Southern District of New York, said the details could help illustrate why Trump would have taken steps to silence Daniels.
She talked about the encounter in ways that did not allege that it was a sexual assault, but came very close to describing it in those terms. Things that, again, were not necessary for the story in terms of the allegations and the charges in this case. That said, there is an argument that some of the detail was necessary for the jury to evaluate why Trump would have been so concerned about the story coming out when it did.
Trump's defense sought to highlight Daniels' animosity towards Trump under cross-examination. They showed jurors a 2022 tweet in which Daniels referred to Trump as a, quote, orange turd. And when asked if she hated Trump by one of his lawyers, Daniels replied yes without hesitation. When asked if she wanted Trump to go to jail, Daniels responded, quote, if he is found guilty, absolutely.
It was a very big day, a very revealing day, as you see.
The evidence thus far establishes quite clearly that there was a scheme to falsify records at the Trump Organization and to conceal payments to Michael Cohen that were reimbursing him for payments he in turn made to Stormy Daniels to keep her quiet about her alleged affair with the former president right before the presidential election. So I think that much has been pretty clearly established. What is less clear at this point is whether or not Trump himself was personally involved in the falsification scheme, and that's critical for establishing the charges in this indictment. Michael Cohen's testimony will be critical in this regard, and the jury has heard evidence from other witnesses that in a sense circumstantially supports what I anticipate Michael Cohen will say about Trump being involved, because those other witnesses from the Trump Organization have talked about how personally involved Donald Trump was in all the financial affairs, including the signing of checks and approving invoices at the Trump Organization.
Stormy Daniels' testimony at Donald Trump's hush money criminal trial compelled the former president's lawyers to ask for a mistrial. Trump's lawyers told Judge Juan Merchan that Daniels went far afield of the ground rules that were established for her testimony. For months and months, defense lawyers, the prosecutors, and the judge had been in talks and came up with rules for what Daniels could testify about and what level of detail she could provide to the jury. Several times during her testimony, Trump's lawyers objected when they felt that she was going beyond the scope of what had been established as the ground rules. She talked about the sexual encounter in details that she was not supposed to, they argued. But Judge Merchan, in denying that mistrial request, said the defense did not try hard enough to object and prevent that testimony. He said it was incumbent on them to speak out and stand up and try to block her from sharing those details that they say were prejudicial to their client. Once the mistrial matter was resolved, Trump lawyer Susan Necheles started her cross-examination questioning of Stormy Daniels. Necheles dug in on Daniels' what she says was a shifting narrative of the sexual encounter, the alleged sexual encounter. Necklace pointed to an account that Daniels reported in her book in 2018, and compared that to some of the testimony she gave in court on Tuesday. Necklace also pointed to potential motivations for Daniels cooperating in this investigation and in this trial. She pointed to Daniels owing several $100,000 in legal fees to Donald Trump as a result of various litigation that emanated in the aftermath of the hush money deal at the heart of this trial. Susan Necklace asked Stormy Daniels if she wants to see Trump in jail. And Stormy Daniels said, yes, she did. If he's found guilty in this case, he should be punished. Necklace also asked Daniels if she was trying to extort Trump when she was shopping her story or having a friend shop her story in the press in the months leading up to the 2016 election. Stormy Daniels was forceful in her response. She says that is false. She said she did not try to extort Donald Trump. In fact, she said she was not looking for money. She wanted to tell her story. She did not want to be kept silent. But when time was running out before the election and Trump lawyer Michael Cohen made a deal to pay her $130,000, that's when she felt she needed to get paid before the election because she felt Cohen was trying to leverage the election against her. In her mind, she felt that Cohen was trying to wait out the clock, that if the election was held, and if, regardless of whether Trump won or lost, he wouldn't have to pay her the money. If Trump won, it wouldn't have mattered if the story came out. And if Trump lost, it wouldn't matter also because he would no longer be in a presidential campaign that could be damaged by those revelations. Daniels will return to the witness stand on Thursday. The trial is off on Wednesday.
Stormy Daniels is taking the witness stand at Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York City. Stormy Daniels is the porn actor that claims she had an extramarital sexual encounter with Trump back in 2006, and she is at the heart of this case.
Look up, Stormy. Look up, Michael.
That's when, according to prosecutors, Michael Cohen got involved and paid her $130,000 to keep her silent.